Atma Ananda Ramana, Atma Ananda Ramana, Achyutha Keshava Hari Narayana, Achyutha Keshava Hari Narayana, Atma Ananda Ramana, Atma Ananda Ramana, Bhava Bhaya Harana, Vandita Charana, Bhava Bhaya Harana, Vandita Charana, Raghukula Bhushana, Raaieeva Lochana, Raghukula Bhushana, Raaieeva Lochana, Aadhi Narayana, Ananda Shayana, Aadhi Narayana, Ananda Shayana, Sachidananda Shri Hari Narayana, Sachidananda Shri Lakshmi Narayana, aathmaraama, 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 Ananda Ramana, aathmaraama, Ananda Ramana, Achyutha Keshava Hari Narayana, Achyutha Keshava Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana. Sitaram ki jai. Om Shalapurji Mahadeva ki jai. Devadadev Deveshwar Mahadeva ki jai. Shridip Narayan Bhagavan ki jai. हिंदू धर्म सम्राट परमहंस स्वामी श्री माधवानंद पुरी जी सद्गुरुदेव भगवान की जय. विश्व गुरु महामंडलेश्वर परमहंस स्वामी श्री महेश्वरानंद पुरी जी गुरुदेव की जय. There are many great life lessons which we can learn from Bhagavan Maryada Purushottam Shri Ram. As we all know, one of the 24 avatars of Lord Vishnu was the great Bhagavan Shri Ram. Bhagavan Shri Ram was the son of Dasharatha, and he was the eldest son. And there were 4 brothers, Ram, Lakshman, Bharat and Shatrughna. We all think that Bhagavan Ram's life was very easy and he was enjoying his life, he was a great king and he had all the great knowledge and everything. Yes, it is true. He had the great knowledge, he was the incarnation of Lord Vishnu himself. He was a king. But just imagine once, just think about it in this way. Bhagavan Shri Ram himself, he was a prince. He was brought up as a prince. He was a son of a great king who ruled the vast majority of the Indian nation. He was married to a princess. And after marriage, due to some political reasons, he was sent for Vanvasa, for 14 years of exile. Now in this previous few years, in the Corona period, we had problems to isolate ourselves for 14 days, for 2 weeks. Now imagine Bhagavan Shri Rama went for Vanvasa, for exile, for isolation for the 14 years with his wife, and because it's a tough time, his brother Lakshmana also decided to join him. It is shown in films and in TV series which they made about Ramayana. It is shown in this way, like Bhagavan Shri Ram and Sita ji went for a picnic, for a vacation. They went out to enjoy. But no. Living in a jungle, living in a forest is not as simple as we think. It is not fun at all. Yes, we are isolated from everyone. We don't have any worldly distractions. But when we go to a forest, even let's say we go for a trek. We go for a nice trek. We go in the morning. We come back in the evening. We go through some hills. We go in the mountains. But in the evening, when we come back, you will see that your hands and your legs, everything are bitten by tiny, tiny insects. The insects which we can't even see with our physical eyes. But those insects are biting us. They are ants, they are thorns, they are... Now, in that time, the tropical areas had much more population of the wildlihood, the more wild animals. Now, They are much less. But at that time, there were much more wild animals. And you never know from where which animal comes and you become their feast for the night. So they had to stay very carefully wherever they were walking, wherever they were going. They had to be very protected. They had to look after each other. They needed to take care of each other. Then they were living their life, and then someone who was Ravana, obviously, he comes from Sri Lanka, from another nation, and he takes Sita, Mata Sita, who is the wife of Lord Rama. He takes her, he kidnaps her, and he takes her. At that time, or even at that time, the kings had the authority, they had the rights to marry more than one woman. So if Lord Rama wanted, after they kidnapped Mata Sita, he could have let her go. Okay, fine, no problem. I will marry some other lady. But no. Maryada Purushottam Bhagavan Shri Ram was so devoted and had so much love and affection for his wife Mata Sita that no, he went after him. He went after Rama to go and get his wife Sita back. Now imagine Bhagavan Shri Ram, who is in the forest in somewhere in the northern side of India, traveled 3,000 kilometers down to the south, to the most southern part of India. And then there again he gets stuck. So then, even now, the southern side of India, the southern people, the South Indian people, they are the people who are really connected to the earth. They are very spiritual, devoted people. So Bhagavan Shri Ram, who came from the northern, from Uttar Pradesh, from Ayodhya, coming all the way to South India, those people believed in him. Doesn't matter, they didn't know him for many years, but his stage, the light which he spread was so divine and so immense that those people, the South Indian people, were so dedicated and devotional towards Bhagavan Shri Ram that they helped him. And then the Vanar Sena came in, and all the people, the devotees, the Bhaktas, they all made the Ram Setu, which is even now existing. Many people speculate and say that is Ramayana a fictional story? The biggest proof, what else can you wish for? You go to Rameshwaram and the border to Sri Lanka, there is a beautiful Ram Setu. It still is visible from the satellite. And if you go and take even a small rock from the Ram Setu and you bring it to your home and you put it in the water body, in a bucket or in a pot, it will float. That is the biggest proof you can ask about Lord Sri Rama. What else do you wish for? Then they cross the Ram Setu, they go to Sri Lanka, they have a great fight. After the fight, Bhagavan Ram kills Ravana, finish the evil. He brings back Mata Sita. Then you would be wondering, okay, now finally Bhagavan Shri Ram and Mata Sita are united and they come back home, they come back to Ayodhya. Then, again due to political reasons, Bhagavan Shri Ram has had to do Agni Pariksha, because his people, the people of his kingdom wanted Agni Pariksha. So Bhagavan Shri Ram then did a fire test for Lord Mata Sita. After that, they got pregnant, and for a king at that time, it was very important, and it was a great milestone in his life that they are pregnant, that his wife is pregnant, that they will have an heir to his throne, that he will have someone to take care of his lineage, the heritage which has come generation by generation. The kingdom will move on. But then, again due to political reasons, Bhagavan Shri Ram had to send Mata Sita to the forest again. And right before the speculations which those people put, when he came back from Sri Lanka after fighting the great war, then Bhagavan Shri Ram went into self-thinking. He was not depressed, but he was very saddened. And then Lakshmana said, "Brother, Bhagavan Shri Ram, what is wrong? You fought the enemy, we brought Mata Sita back home, you are now again ruling. What else do you want?" Bhagavan Shri Ram said, "I feel a little bit sad because Yes, he was a bad guy. He was an evil man. He had many bad things. He had many negativity within him. But one thing, he was a great bhakta. He was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. So I killed the evil, but I also killed a great bhakta of Lord Shiva. So after spending 14 years in exile in the forest, you might be thinking, okay, now what? And after that, even Bhagwan Sri Ram went to Himalayas for meditating for 1 year. And then he came back, then they found out that Mata Sita is pregnant. Then he had to send, because of the people, he had to send her again to the forest. Then Mata Sita had twins, as you know, Lava and Kush, who were actually the sons of Lord Rama. But unknowingly, Lord Rama didn't know he had sons. Unknowingly, Lord Rama almost killed them. He had a great fight, a great battle with them after the Ashwamedh Yajna. So, unknowingly, Bhagwan Sri Ram almost killed his sons. And then at last, Mata Sita passed away and went into the earth. And Bhagwan Sri Ram only was able to see her for a few minutes before she passed away. So imagine the struggles which Lord Rama went through in his life. Bhagwan Sri Ram was a great king, a great prince. He was newly wed and he was sent to the forest. He was living a great, tough, simple life in the forest, even though he was not he didn't know how to live, but he managed his life in the forest. Then his wife was kidnapped. After his wife was kidnapped, he had to walk all the way to the southern part of India, then build the great Ram Setu, the great bridge, to go to Sri Lanka, then fight a great war, not knowing if he would die or not, killing the evil, killing Ravana, getting his wife back. After bringing his wife back home, he still had to listen to the people and send his wife back. Unknowingly almost killed his children. And then seeing Sita Ji for a few minutes before she passed away. What a tough life. If only one of these events would happen to one of us, to one of now the current people, if anything would happen, even one small thing happens and we go into depression. We have some workload, we have fights with someone, our love affair finishes, anything in life, any small little, even a little minor detail happens in our life and we completely lose ourselves. But no, Bhagwan Sri Rama stayed strong on his dharma. He knew what his dharma was and he put his people, his nation above his family. This is the type of leaders we want. We don't want the leaders who put their families above their nation. No. We should learn this from Lord Rama. He kept the people, what the people had to say, what the people had to tell him. He always kept his nation and his people and his kingdom above his family. That's why he was known as Maryada Purushottam Bhagwan Sri Ram. He was one out of all the kings from Aadhi and Adikal till now. He is known to be the most greatest, most loyal, most favorite kings out of all, who gave justice to everyone who came to his court. And that's why he's now worshipped as Bhagwan Sri Ram, and that is why we worship him, also because he is the avatar of Lord Vishnu, but because of his dedication to the nation and to his kingdom. And even though Bhagwan Sri Ram was the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, he himself was the embodiment of God. Even then, he had a guru. In the olden tradition, we had 4 ashramas: Brahmacharya ashram, Grahastha ashram, Vanaprastha ashram, and Sannyas ashram. Brahmacharya ashram was the first 25 years where a child used to go to a gurukul. And what is a gurukul? A kula of gurus, where the great gurus, the great teachers give the knowledge and passes on the great traditions. Rama Krishna se kaun bade usne bhi guru keen, तीनों लोक के नाथ है उसने वो भी गुरु के आधीन. Rama Krishna, they are themselves God. Even then they had a guru. They are the They are the supreme gods of all three lokas, but still they were worshipping and bowing down towards their Sri Gurudev. So, even us, human beings, we all need a Guru, a Sri Gurudev to guide us and to help us in our life. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Mannatha Shri Jagannatha, Madguru Shri Jagat Guru, Mamatma Sarva Bhutatma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. ओम शैलपुर जी महादेव की जय, देवादिदेव देवेश्वर महादेव की जय, श्रीदीप नारायण भगवान की जय, हिंदू धर्म सम्राट परमहंस स्वामी श्री माधवानंद पुरी जी सद्गुरुदेव भगवान की जय, विश्व गुरु महामंडलेश्वर परमहंस स्वामी श्री महेश्वरानंद पुरी जी गुरुदेव की जय। हर नमः पार्वती पतये, हर हर महादेव शंभो।